Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hey, everybody, I'm going to get you into a concert that is going to relax you, make you feel better, energize you. You don't have to go anywhere. It's going to be presented here. And it's different than you would expect, but it's been proven to make you feel a lot better. I'm talking about sound healing. It's all about the energy that comes off of certain sounds. She is somebody that has mastered practicing just that as a sound healer, and she's back with us. Barb Sounds is on the program. Welcome back. How are you?
Thanks. I'm good, Steve. How about you?
I'm good. I can't play anything.
Good.
I can play songs on the radio. That's about it. But you are going to, in your studio, perform. And when we get together, we pick a different intention for the sounds to heal in different ways. What's our intention for today?
Our intention for today is fatigue. I'm sure that everybody wants less fatigue, but I'm also quite sure that pretty much everybody on the planet has feels some kind of fatigue. But fatigue is, I think, actually encompasses, first of all, encompasses all parts of us. So you can have physical fatigue, like if you did too much work in the garden, or you did too much stuff on your holidays, or you're working too many hours. You have your physical body can be fatigued. You can have fatigue. You can have mental fatigue if you've been really focusing and concentrating. You can have emotional fatigue if you're dealing with stressful stuff and it's been ongoing. And sometimes we can have a kind of existential kind of soul fatigue too, which is kind of happens a lot more to older people, where you're just kind of tired of everything. Like, you're just kind of tired of being down here. I mean, not that you want to leave the planet, but you're just kind of tired of, dealing with all the stuff you've dealt with in your life. And that can happen when you're really young too. That's not to say it's just, related to just old people, but
yeah.
And so that actually, fatigue is a really good thing for sound healing, to do sound healing for, because sound healing does actually, relax and allow for healing in your body and healing your thoughts and your feelings, and even on a soul level healing.
And I have to believe too, if you have fatigue, it makes things like anxiety, depression, all that stuff perk up, because you can't deal with things in life when you're tired or you're burned out.
Yeah. And I think all of those other things cause fatigue too. So if you're anxious all the time, that's supremely tiring. Or you have depression, that makes you very tired, or you have any of those other conditions that we've all been playing for, except for joy. But, you might be able to have too much joy and be fatigued about that. But I kind of doubt that.
Good problem to have. if that could be that your biggest problem. Yeah, I'm feeling so great. I'm so tired though because of it. All right, well, good for you. I mean, if that's going to happen.
No, not.
So if I were to listen, and you've played for us a number of times, if I were to listen with you playing with the intention of fatigue or the intention of playing for joy, would somebody notice a difference in the sounds, or it's really about the intention as you play?
I think it's both. I mean, the intention for sure. I mean, and the reason that I sort of pick one intention per podcast right now is just that, when I'm doing a session for, like if I did a session for you individually, or even if you came to a group, I always ask people to set an intention for themselves, at the beginning. And then that's how the instruments play. That's how the healing is sent out. And so what we're doing is just kind of picking one intention per podcast so that people can actually see if they can notice. And I mean, I notice it because I'm familiar with the instruments, and I know that they play differently. People probably will notice that they feel differently though. Like if you listen to, my 10 minutes of playing and some of the other podcasts, because you can listen to those on the replay. I have them on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com / at Barb Sounds. So if you've missed any or you want to go back and hear some, go back and listen to, some of the other times that I've played for different things, and you will start to notice a difference.
Yeah, I wonder if
and
if it's joy, would you add more lighter sounding instruments like chimes, things like that? Would it make a difference in that? It doesn't. Okay.
No, it's more how they played. And when I played for joy, it was very fast. So as the person playing, I mean, usually everything else when you're dealing with all of the not so good stuff, things go a little bit slower. But when I was playing for joy, I felt like I was just moving from one thing to another and, you know, without almost even knowing that I had until I got to the next instrument. And the instruments were playing very fast and very energetically, because that's the energy of joy. The
So
energy
there
of
is a
joy
slight.
is,
So what I'm getting is there is a slight difference
yeah,
in the sounds.
yes,
Might not be so obvious. It might take you
no.
a little while to, oh, wait a minute, she's playing different this time, faster, whatever it might be. But there can be a variation.
Yeah, and it depends on the person too, and it depends on what other issues they've got and all that kind of stuff. And the instruments can also play like sort of in general, and each person, like we talked about quite a while ago of like how, the body it's always the body that heals. It's really the body that can heal, and your body, heals in different ways.
Hmm.
Right. So all of us can be hearing the same sounds. And let's see if people email in after I play today and say how they felt or what thoughts popped up or, that kind of thing. Playing for fatigue, you would think might be really energetic too. But when you're fatigued, a whole lot of, when you're fatigued and you're way down here, energy wise, if I'm playing way up here, there's going to be a discord. So I think it will, well, I don't know. We'll see how it is today. Because I don't know ahead of time.
And when you say discord, do you mean call it a disconnect because your energy is here and the energy of what you're playing is up here? That
Mhm.
doesn't mean that you can't experience the benefits of the playing.
No.
It just you're driving on different roads, but you're going to the same place.
Yeah. And if I'm playing for somebody, for instance, who's in cancer treatment and you have huge fatigue, when you're in cancer treatment, I don't play for as long a time and I don't play as loud and I play a lot more slowly
Hmm.
because it's too kind of, jarring
I would totally get that.
otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my favorite walk away anytime you play is just the calm
Mm-hmm.
that comes from it. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't my personal experience doesn't matter what you're playing. It's still relaxing. It stops you. It prevents you even from moving forward. Hey, wait a minute. Listen to this. It draws you in and you're just like, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Feeling
And it
better.
also gives you, I think no matter what you're playing for, no matter what your issues are, it gives you that integration of your body and your mind and your heart and your soul. Because we tend to, especially in the West here, we tend to live in our minds. We don't pay attention to our bodies, even though we know they're there. And,
Yeah.
we try to get rid of all of our feelings and thoughts because we don't like them, and we have no clue like what it's like to be with our soul. So one of the really nice things about sound healing is that it allows you to experience like all of those things all at once.
I never thought of it that way, but now that you say it, I get it. Like you feel together where your
Uh-huh.
head is here, your heart is here, your body's here. Sometimes it's all in different places. My mind is over here and I can't, think about something emotional over here, but it's like kind of brings it all together. Even if it's only for 30 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever the playing time is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I never thought of that until you said it, but then it came even clearer in my
That is,
mind
yeah.
that way.
Yep. So today we can play for fatigue and integration because that's what it's going to do.
Rock
It's
on.
gonna do that. All right.
That'd be great. By the way, she's going to go to her studio. I'm going to say if you Want to tell us what it's like, what you're feeling? Instant feedback, Steve at gmail.com is how you can reach us.
Okay.
She's making her
so
way to the studio there.
To start, let's take a few deep breaths. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. You can make a kind of ha sound when you breathe out. And with each of the 3 breaths, let's try the first one, in and out. And when you breathe out, let go, if you can, or feel yourself letting go of all the stress in your body. And now on the second breath, when you breathe out, feel yourself letting go of all of your thoughts. And on the third breath in and then out, feel yourself letting go of all of your feelings. And now close your eyes and enjoy.
You were out of the shot, and I still heard some sounds. Were you
Mm-hmm.
still playing on your way out? We didn't see it.
I was playing the tingsha, which are these things,
Oh, okay.
right? And I often play the tingsha um, at the end of a session,
Okay.
just because it denotes that the session is over.
Looks
And
almost looks
usually,
like an old school defibrillator. Clear.
well, we could call it an energy defibrillator.
Okay, there you
Actually,
go.
in the deep healing, I learned a couple of years ago how to do something called deep healing with the bowls in particular, and you can use the ting sha to actually diagnose. Like you can use it,
Oh wow.
and it's strange because you clang them together, and then you run one over the body and you put the other one up to your ear, kind of like a stethoscope.
Interesting. It's
Yeah, so you can
almost like
tell.
a divining rod. Remember they do
Yeah,
to find water? Like I don't even know if they work, like on
yeah.
cartoons and TV shows, but it's finding energy, I guess, in this instance. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
we have Flo checking in from Destin, Florida. Instant feedback, steve@gmail.com. And she says, I've had a lot going on, and your playing made me feel better.
Hmm.
Um, does this feeling last for a while?
Hmm. That's a really good question, Flo. I think it will. I mean, you notice it the most at the very end of my playing because, you've been focused on listening to my playing. But I
Hmm.
think you'll find, and this is just a small, sample, so it's only 10 minutes, but I think you'll find that if you pay attention to how you're moving, like, are you walking really fast? Are you walking really slow? How you're feeling? Pay attention to that, for the rest of the evening. And I think you'll find that it does last quite a long time and you will sleep a lot better tonight. Yeah.
Wow. And I never thought of that to really pay attention toward the end of the playing, where it's going to be, I guess, maybe even more impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Well, I think we pay attention at the end of a sound bath just because we've been paying attention the whole time during the sound bath.
Okay.
So for the first, and I do actually, when I'm doing the longer sessions, I let people stay in the silence after the sounds end. The silence afterwards is very often the most healing part because you're in that beautiful, nice, relaxed, calm.
You've said
Everything is
that
just,
before, and I
yeah.
remember even adding that. That's my favorite part.
Well, and it lets people, and so the few minutes of silence afterwards lets people then actually, you stop being aware of the sounds because the sounds have stopped, but you're not kind of sitting up and running off to your desk to work or,
Yeah.
whatever, grabbing the dog or the kid. So it gives you that little space just to kind of feel,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think, and Flo, you did that like at the end, at the end of me playing. I think you felt like, you felt how that
Yeah.
feels. And you
Yeah.
feel that, Steve, every time we do it, right?
You don't want it to end.
Yeah.
But all good things do. But fortunately, you are available if somebody wants to do a sound bath. You were offering
Mhm.
one for free. Somebody could try that out. You still doing that?
Yes, actually, yep. I'm still doing that. I'm doing that into September, into the fall. So if you go to heal.me, HEAL, is in healing, heal.me/Barb Sounds, you can book a 30-minute sound bath for free.
Wow.
And, most practitioners will give you a free consult where they talk to you for half an hour or 20 minutes and try to convince you to, you know, do whatever it is they want to do for you. But for me, I mean, it's nice talking about it and stuff, but I just decided that I don't need to talk for another 30 minutes, like to you, Flo, because you've already, had a little bit of experience. So why not just do a 30
Love it.
minute sound bath for you? And then you can see what it's like when it lasts longer.
Love it. Again, how do we find you there?
Heal.me, Barb Sounds. If you want to do an individual session, I do group sessions, usually on the weekends, Friday or Saturday nights. If you want to come to one of those, it's less expensive than the individual ones, although it's not free like the 30 minutes is. And that's at barbsounds.eventbrite.ca.
What a great way to wind down your day too. Plan it for later in the day if that's even possible. Wow. Sleep like a baby.
You do. You do sleep like a baby. I played one time for a friend of mine who was French Canadian. Anyway, French was her first language. And she sent me this email the next day and she said, "Oh, that was so incredible. Thank you so much. I slept like a wood." And I was like, "You slept like a wood." But the English expression is I slept like a log. So she slept like a wood.
I got it.
We had a good laugh about that.
Yeah,
we had a good laugh.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, people do sleep well.
Like a piece of wood.
Yeah, like a piece of wood.
Well, it doesn't do anything. It just
not moving. Just staying there.
Moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Barb, always a pleasure, and love what you do, and look forward next time we talk.
Thank you, Steve.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.